Excited to bring you another unfilmed adventure today. This is the Little Crabtree Creek Trail in Westmoreland, PA at Twin Lakes Park. This has never been filmed before, so very excited to film it for the first time and show it to all of you. Today we're back at Twin Lakes Park and we're going to bike the Little Crabtree Creek Trail. I'm going to turn this around so we can get a better picture of the sign. There's the sign to the right, and then trail is off here to the left. So let's go grab the bike. We got the bike here, and then we have a little attachment to put on the handlebars that will hopefully hold the phone. All right, this is just testing the camera footage, seeing if this is gonna work. Looks like we've got a decent camera angle. So you'll notice I changed shirts. What I ended up having to do is come back, and I'm gonna have to refilm the bike ride down. So the goal is, like, the bike ride down is filmed the whole way, and then on the way back we stop and take in all the sights. And I tried filming it with the phone attached to the handlebars on my bike last time, and that didn't work at all. The footage was so shaky, it was completely unusable even with stabilization. So I ended up switching over to a GoPro, and I'm gonna mount that on my backpack. And I think that should be enough to stabilize this footage for us on the way down. And then I'm going to use the footage from last time on the way back because I really like the footage that I got. Let's go do it.
connected to Salzburg, you're never gonna be able to do it. That used to be the train depot. When they bought that back in the 80s, they went to the middle of a bridge center. So they can't get across that creek back here, connecting to Salzburg property. What they tried to do with the guy next down the road, when they're trading that right away for a piece up in Hempfield. Because this is Hempfield now. I mean, Hempfield are on the other side of the creek. Yeah, the other reason I grew up here. And the guy who lived next door to us, he grew up over there. He knew everything that went on around here. He told us everything, you know. My dad was good friends with him. But yeah, you gotta go to this farm.
The end of the trail, we met a guy named Jim back there. He owns property back there. He was mowing, so didn't want to really film back there because didn't know if he'd appreciate that. But he's a nice guy. Told me stories about, you know, they're working on the trail down at the end there, right at the end of the road. They're working on expanding that, but they might never do it depending on what the county does. Jim said this trail has a lot of what are called ash trees, and I think those are these here, and just don't have leaves on them. And those trees are prone to falling. One fell on him at one point. He ended up in the hospital for 5 weeks and then in a nursing home for a lot longer to recover from that fall. So keep an eye on those trees, especially if it gets windy out. But that was nice. Good talking with Jim, and we're going to now look for some of those geocaches on the way back. As it turns out, there was a geocache right at the end of the road, but again, that's pretty much that guy's property, so didn't want to film that and didn't want to be crawling all over his property looking for it. So we're going to go up here to the next one and see what we can find. So just want to give you an idea of the terrain we're working with. There's a big hill over to my left on the way back here, and then over to my right there's a creek area, and I assume this is the little Crabtree Creek. Can't actually go down in there because I think this is someone's property, but we'll zoom in and try and get some closer views of the creek as we bike. Another view of the hillside on the left here. I don't know if you can hear, but we got a rooster to our right, and there was something out here that made like this bird that made this like crying sound almost. Now we should be near what's called a micro cache, and it's in a little, it says it's in a little pill bottle. I'll put the description up on the probably the right hand side of the screen, so let's see if we can find this thing. Just getting a view of the bike on the trail. Nice purple flower. And we have stumbled upon the first geocache of this trail. This one's super tiny, as you can see here. I'm gonna pick it up. You can see just how small this thing is. So we're gonna mark that we were here. Someone placed this, you know, usually place geocaches with a cool destination in mind. In this place, this is more of a series of geocaches on this trail. This cache is a little bottle, and there's some signatures here. It looks like it was last found on 7/20. Today's 7/30, so we're gonna write down that we were here. All right, so there we've signed it, UnFilmed Adventures. Now we're gonna put this back in a tree like we found it, so the next person can enjoy finding this. And before I keep going, we got a nice view of the river here. See, there's purple markings on these trees back in here. They look like trail markers, but the thing is, I don't know if there's actually a trail right there. I don't see one, and nowhere on maps does it show up. So I'm gonna see if I can find a trail, but I don't think there's one here unless it's this river down in here, this little river area. But keep an eye on that. Zoom out here so you can see kind of how far this goes back in with these purple trail marks. Let's see if we can figure out where those go. As it would turn out, there's posted signs here along these purple markers. So these purple markers go back up into someone's private property, so I don't know if that's their own trail. I do see a little trail back in there, like a deer trail or something, so I'm not sure what's up with that, but yeah, we can't go back in there, so back onto the bike trail. This is still the little Crabtree Creek. Just getting some nice footage of the river on the way back. On further viewing here, looks like these purple markers are actually this guy's way of putting boundaries on his property line instead of putting no trespassing signs everywhere. He must have a problem with people going up in there, so he just put a bunch of purple marks on these trees to stop people from doing that. Next cache looks to be at this stop up here at the road, so we're gonna see if we can find that. A little more video of the creek. Looks like we got benches that were donated here, so we will try and film some of these as we go. And down in there's the river. This is the road crossing we passed on the way in. Got a cornfield over to the left, and I'm standing in the middle of the road, but I am watching to make sure nothing's coming the other way. So I'm gonna turn around here and film the other side. And this is the other side of the road. And then back on the trail over here. We got two signs. I'm gonna zoom in on these signs and take a look at this dead tree here. There's some branches that are just about to fall, it looks like, right under this sign. So I'm not gonna stand under that branch, but I'm gonna try and get a view of the sign. This is a zoomed in, up close view of that dead tree and those dead branches. All right, now we're gonna get out from underneath it. It's like I passed the geocache on the other side of the road there, but there were some nice folks over there with the dogs, so I don't want to spook them by going back and just hanging around the car searching for a geocache. So we're gonna go up to the next one and see if we can find that one. The trail has decided that my handlebars should come loose. Can't really see if I can show that, but basically turned them till they're tight again. I'm gonna need to get in here with an Allen wrench and tighten that down, I think. I have another bench dedication here. This is the trail behind us back towards the road. And we're heading back up this way into the sunlight a little bit. Looks like we were on the wrong side of the previous cache. I do know exactly where it is now because there was a very distinct tree knot back there, and the cache clue I'll put up on the right side of the screen said not the best place for a cache. So I'm gonna go back there, and I think I can do it without spooking people, and we're gonna find that cache, and then we're gonna keep going. There's a small path down in here, so we're gonna look down here and see if we can find the cache. This is the distinctive tree knot that I thought the cache might be around, but I'm not seeing it. I'm back in the same bench I just left from. I couldn't find it around the tree knot. Thankfully, this is a short trail because my handlebars are becoming super loose for some reason. So it looks like I need an Allen wrench. I can get in here and tighten this back up. Some purple flowers back in here and a bunch of what look like sweat bees or something like that. At least I call them sweat bees. They're all over these flowers. So trying to get these shots that we couldn't get on the way up because we were attached to a bicycle. Down here, there's like a pipe looking thing. Just wanted to see what this says. It says Wilkes Energy. So I'm not sure what that is or does. I'm not familiar with this type of work, but here this is. And I was just down the hill, right off the trail, so I'm gonna head back up on the bike and keep moving. Can really hear the birds out today. See behind the bike there, there's some vines that are just kind of hanging down in there. Got another no trespassing sign to the left there, so all this land on either side of the trail is private property, but we can still get some good video footage of it. The trail that veers off to the left here, up into the hillside, but that's definitely somebody's private property. This is the greenest shot, I think, of the trail. Trail gets a lot more sunny up here. I think we're getting close to the beginning and back to where we started in the park. If you look carefully there, you can see some birds just flew through. I've seen this flower on multiple trails now, and trying to figure out what this is. So when I go home later, I'll Google this because I'm curious. There's an ant on this. And what looks like a sweat bee or flying ant has also just landed. Unfortunately, can't seem to get focused on this, but these look so cool. A butterfly over here. Got another nice picture of a butterfly. Nice video. There he goes. Let's go up and see what flower he was checking out. So, just looking at this orange flower here. I think this is probably the most scenic view on the trail. And this is a view from the other way of what looks like a pipeline kind of heading up in there, or at least where they cleared the way for electric. Another nice view here from the trail. There's a large bird out here. I'm gonna try and zoom in and then zoom in more in post-editing and editing, but you can see it, and that thing is way out there, but yeah, I can see it from here. It's a pretty big bird. It's coming this way a little bit. There it goes. Hope it's in the camera film. It's out there. Let's see if I can zoom in on it then. Okay, and it's heading off into the distance, but got some good footage there. This is a nice view from the trail. We're getting close to the park now. The little bird box over here to the right. And then on the other side, got more of what they cleared out for electric. I've seen this flower before on another trail, but can't pass up an opportunity to film it. Not sure what it is. I'll have to look it up. Blue dragonfly directly in the center of the screen. You can see we're almost back. This is a view of the lower lake from the start of the Crabtree trail. Just across that road is where we parked. I missed this right at the start, but there are two mushrooms growing right along the side of the trail here. And one more view of the lake before we get back to the car. Just gonna leave my bike there for a second. Film this short walk around this turn. We're back at the car. I'd say that was a pretty good trail. Slightly downhill on the way there, and then on the way back we went slightly uphill, which was okay because I stopped to take all those different videos and of things we missed on the way down. Found one geocache today. I'd say that was a success. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.